right, good evening. I'm Rob Fernie. I'm going to be presenting on minimum wage tonight. So I want to do a quick exercise and quickly discuss and think about what we all were doing 2 years ago. So by show of hands, how many of you have gotten engaged or married in the last 2 years? 4 people, pretty good. Anybody have any children? 2? Me too, that's 3. Anybody switch jobs? The majority of us, including myself. How about move? The majority of us. All right, great. So what does this have to do with minimum wage? Well, if you increase minimum wage, what I'm going to go on to present is it's actually going to increase unemployment. So by increasing unemployment, you're putting unemployed workers into the ability to collect unemployment, which they can collect for roughly 2 years. So again, think back where you were 2 years ago. That's how long those people can collect unemployment for. So let's first take a quick look at some brief statistics from the U.S. Bureau of Labor. First off, there are 1.7 million Americans currently collecting, currently at the rate of minimum wage, and roughly half of those are 25 years old or under. So who is affected if we increase minimum wage? First, there are businesses affected. Large businesses are affected, but more dominantly smaller businesses. Second is the economy as a whole, and third are individuals. Not just the individuals earning minimum wage, but everybody in the economy. So let's first take a look at businesses. What choices do they have if we raise minimum wage? They're going to have to pay out extra in compensation. So they can choose to absorb that cost themselves. That is the first option there, become less profitable. Second, they can raise the prices on their customers, or third, they can downsize. Usually businesses are a little hesitant for the first option there, and they stick to the second two, but they can do it in any combination. Next, let's look at the economy. As these businesses have to raise their price or pay their employees more, typically they will raise prices. As every business and every industry does this, they pass that on to the customers through higher prices. This will lead to inflation throughout the entire economy. So, going back to this, you may think giving a low-income worker more money is actually beneficial, but that extra money will actually be worth less. So let's take a look at some of the individuals, which is the most important aspect of this. So what I'm quickly going to do is just draw a supply and demand chart.
Escape. Go right on the computer and escape.
Anyway, we're going to draw a quick supply and demand chart to show you how raising minimum wage will actually negatively impact low-income workers. So over there we have what wages currently are. And then down here is the quantity of labor. So if you think of down here as the actual workforce, people that are going to be earning minimum wage, there's their supply line. So as the wages are real low, not many people want to work. But as the wages go up, more and more people are willing to work. And demand's quite the opposite. As businesses, if it's expensive to hire somebody, businesses don't have a high demand for it. But as prices come down, they'll want to hire more people. So does anybody know where the equilibrium point is in this?
At the meeting point?
Got it. So this is the ideal place for a free market right there. So we'll call that 725, which is what New Jersey's minimum wage is at right now. So if we just fill in some numbers down here, let's say that's 200 employees, 100 employees, 300 employees for some business. If we have to increase minimum wage, what we're doing is creating a price floor up here. So now instead of it being at the free market spot, there's going to be a supply way out here, about 300 people wanting to work, but the demand, or what companies will actually hire, is only 100. So you can see we went from 200 employees kind of happily employed, have a job, collecting a paycheck. Now by raising the minimum wage up to $8.25 or $8, whatever the case may be, we're actually going to lose some jobs in the workforce.
Put your pen down.
So next I'd just like to read a quick quote from a senior economist that went to the University of Chicago. A higher minimum wage encourages firms to hire already trained and experienced workers, eliminates some opportunities for experience and training, and puts an even bigger burden on our vocational schools to train unskilled workers. The most important thing from this big long quote, is that it eliminates some opportunities for experience. As these low-income workers can't get jobs, they're losing out on that opportunity to work, where they're going to learn knowledge, skills, and take it further down their career progression. This is also going to affect all individuals. So any of us in the room are going to be affected by higher inflation. If unemployment goes up, we're going to be affected because we pay that through payroll taxes. We're also going to get inferior products or services as business try to cut cost to compensate for that extra cost they're experiencing through higher wages. And most importantly, as teenagers, they'll be negatively affected. Like we previously said, they're going to miss out on learning skills and knowledge. Think about if you were an employer and you were paying somebody $7.50 an hour, and now all of a sudden you have to pay them $8.50. When you have to hire somebody, you're going to pay extra special attention. You're going to want extra skills for that extra dollar. And that's going to make teenagers less likely to find work. And as you can see from this chart, actually a lot of people making minimum wage are under the age of 24. So what can you do? You should take this as an opportunity to become more aware of the situation. You should be by becoming more aware, you'll be better prepared to make a decision. You're going to want to better educate others. It's very easy to say, yes, let's vote for a minimum wage increase, but there's actually much more to it. Most importantly, go out and vote. The election's November 5th. Make your voice heard. So what will New Jersey look like if we wake up on November 6th and the laws pass and an increase happens? Teenagers will be negatively affected. From a San Francisco case study here, they actually raised the minimum wage above $10 just in San Francisco, and they came to the conclusion that by raising that compensation floor, it brings a lot of harm to the market for teenagers. Businesses may move out. They'll have additional costs. They'll be worried about inflation. More government workers will start, more government dependence for low-income workers. They'll be collecting unemployment. And it will affect you, like we already discussed. Taxes fund unemployment. There's going to be the opportunity to either raise taxes or cut back on other programs. Services by the government may be reduced. So in conclusion, you have three people affected. You have the economy as a whole, businesses, and individuals. So this evening, what I really wanted to do is make sure you guys are aware of the issue at hand. And second, hopefully educate you and make you aware that just doing that easy vote yes may not be the best thing. Thank you.